Hi, I'm Leslie Liao. Do you love Radio Taiwan International's English content and wish it would never end? Well, who said it has to? The fun doesn't have to stop here. Check out our website, or our Facebook, or our YouTube, or our Twitter. Go to en.rti.org.tw for the latest Taiwan news stories. Check out Radio Taiwan International on Facebook to see great pictures of Taiwan. Go to youtube.com/RTI English to view some of our great features. And when you're done, tell us what you think on Twitter. Our handle is Radio Taiwan_ENG. What are you waiting for? I'm here waiting for your message.
So cute.
Welcome back to Radio Taiwan International. You're listening to Geek Out. What's your cup of tea? Tickles your fancy or floats your boat? Join us as we share passions from people in Taiwan and around the world. I'm your host, Michelle Cheng, and today in the studio we have coming back with us Ivy and somebody new, Candy. No, just kidding. They're pseudonyms. Because, you know, sometimes we don't want people to know who we are, but, you know, it's cool. So last episode, we were speaking about animals and our own pets and how pets are awesome to have in your life. So we figured pet peeves is also something everybody has in their life and I love to whinge about. Shall we go round table? Round table. Who's going first?
Bad teeth.
But then you're from England. Oh.
Yes.
I'm kidding. It's a, what is the stereotype that is unfounded? Founded, unfounded.
I think it's a generational thing. On the whole, it's probably improving everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a first world country, right? Because dental care, and you know what you're
braces,
supposed to do.
whatever.
Yeah.
Teeth whitening, Invisalign.
I don't think braces are actually that common in England, though.
Really?
No, I don't know. So I think crooked teeth is quite a common thing. Yeah.
Genetics then, because I inherited actually the exact same teeth as from my grandmother. We had the exact same like crooked alignment, which is hilarious because you wouldn't think that crooked teeth is a genetic thing.
But is it?
I think it is.
Hold on. Back to the whole pet peeves thing.
Yeah.
I guess my definition of bad teeth is not like if you have slightly crooked teeth. It's if it's really yellow or brown or stained.
Like not taking care of.
Yeah. Like crooked teeth is fine. I'm not expecting, people to have Hollywood,
Poor oral hygiene.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I guess.
Although Hollywood teeth are freaky in their own way.
They're not real.
They're not real anyway. They're not real.
They're not real
But
teeth.
I don't have a problem with dentures, I guess, or fake teeth, but like, yeah.
But dude, if they're like overly white, have you been freaked out by some of those news anchor people? It's like black light
CNN
white.
like anchors and like Hollywood.
Freaky.
But see, like I said, that's also a very cultural thing. That's very American. Like British actors and actresses don't have like the whole perfect white
Veneers.
American veneer thing going on. Like
That's so unnatural.
that's a very American thing. Like we don't have.
I guess so. I mean, America has been looked at because Hollywood and stuff as like leading the forefront of quote unquote beauty. I was saying people, unfortunately, one of our flaws are that we are visual animals. So the first thing we see is your appearance. So yeah,
People chomping on their food with their mouth open.
Are
just
you one of those?
Chomping. It just bothers me
the sound
so much.
ASMR, right? The sound of eating.
I like ASMR. I don't like people.
Do you need
Actually,
people
no.
chewing with their mouth open?
Yeah.
Like the visual thing,
Or
the
like-
sound
no, the sound.
thing? Okay.
The sound. Okay, maybe I don't like ASMR where people are chewing with their mouth open either.
Because like it's different. Say if somebody's eating an apple and they make a sound because
Crunch.
it's an apple.
no,
like,
but
that
like,
should be
like
fine,
chomping,
right?
like opening
So it's
open mouth.
open mouth chewing.
Oh yeah, no.
So like what is it?
Mukbang?
Mukbang, right?
That doesn't mean it's
Mukbang
open
videos?
mouth.
But
chewing,
mukbangs
though.
are just people eating, so it's
yeah,
not
but
the
it's
sound.
not- yeah.
ASMR is the
The sound.
But it's when you eat something crunchy
Yeah.
with your mouth closed, you can still hear it. That's okay, but it's really eating with your mouth, like chewing
It's
with your
mouth
mouth
open.
open.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Okay, drinking.
How do you
do
drink,
you
with,
drink
your mouth open?
No.
If it just bleh, all out. That's
No,
hilarious.
but the sound, the slurping sound, like when you.
Japanese
like
eating
soup?
ramen. Like the Japanese
Yeah,
eating ramen.
yeah,
How
like
are you
that.
with that? And they eat it really loudly, at least in Japanese.
Yeah,
TV
but how
shows.
are you supposed to slurp noodles?
You
Well, Chinese people don't
them.
slurp noodles.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You just eat them. You put them in your mouth. You don't like.
Yeah, we
do
don't
the suck
slurp.
motion.
Yeah, we don't. We think that's impolite in our Chinese culture, but the Japanese people do it when they eat ramen.
Supposedly, yeah. I'm sure a lot of people have heard that it's actually a compliment to the chef if you make these slurping sounds when you're eating.
I've never actually heard of that.
Really?
I only heard that in American culture.
so
I don't hear
okay,
that
so
in
something-
Japanese
Oh my
culture.
goodness.
so something that we made up.
But it's not that it's a compliment. I think it's just something that happens naturally when you slurp on like noodle soup, it's a noise that it makes naturally. I don't think it's intentional.
I don't do that, though,
Because
when
I
have
don't. Because I
ramen.
usually put my noodles on a spoon,
The Chinese way, right?
and then just because I don't like the splashing.
Me too,
at
me
the
too.
end.
It gets on my clothes.
Yeah.
But the slurping sound,
Slurping sound maybe doesn't bother me as much. Like chewing with mouth open is a big no-no.
okay.
I will tell you.
to please
Or
close
just
them.
stare at you like, yeah,
Right.
please close your mouth.
So Ivy mentioned this earlier. The bad BO thing in Taiwan. We have a It's a subtropical country, and in the summertime specifically, especially when one of the reasons why I dislike public transportation during rush hours is you get jammed in there with a bunch of people, and being short, and people have their arms raised. You see what I'm getting at, listeners?
But the Taiwan, there's not, people don't have BOs. It's their clothes not drying fully and getting.
It's an odd smell.
It's
'cause
No, those
wet.
are two different
It's
things.
like wet clothes smell.
mildew. What is that?
I think there's two things.
There's
One,
BO.
I still think there's BO, especially during the summer, because it's actually not, I think, a common thing for everybody to use deodorant.
Yeah,
right.
it's-
That's not part of like the hygiene process.
Right.
growing up in
Antiperspirant
the
and
culture.
deodorant,
Yeah,
is
here.
catching on, but not.
It's
Not
not
much,
there yet. It's not even close. So, and then if you get like, a train full of like 13-year-old boys that have just finished playing
But
basketball
BOs
or
are
something.
not very common for Asians.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like that still smells horrible. What you're talking about is because the humidity
Yeah.
here is so high that like after you wash your clothes and you hang it out to dry, it doesn't dry properly.
or you
because
sweat
it's so
and then you
humid.
get wet and you go inside and
Yeah,
there's
those
AC.
those are still different.
There's an interesting smell then with the clothes as well.
Yeah.
Very musky.
It's a interesting, weird, mildewy smell that I've only ever smelled here and never in the U.S.
And the sourness from the
sourness.
sweat. That's
It's-
just sweat.
That's gross.
It's gross. It's gross.
BO.
I guess, I'm then always very self-conscious whether I ever smell like that. And you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like,
I
am
still
having a
feel
BO?
like I don't know if this is me being.
Because one usually cannot smell oneself.
I used to think it was more like a guy thing, right? Guys having BO,
No,
right?
no.
But actually,
Everybody.
and then or else I used to think like, oh, Asians don't smell as much or have less BO.
Right.
But then I think after I moved here, I did encounter a colleague of mine. She was a girl, but definitely
interesting.
I could,
Maybe it's a diet thing.
So I was like, I don't know, yeah.
I think so because some cultures have
Heavier certain, elements to your diet. For
Yeah,
example,
because-
heavier meats.
or the herbs and spices.
Right.
Spices for sure.
So it could be the stereotype that Asian people have less BO could be the fact that we eat less meat in general.
I think it's more spices than meat though.
Maybe.
I don't know really.
it's
I
just
don't
a
actually
vibe.
know how BO
Individual-
works. Yeah, I
individual
don't.
physical makeup.
You don't smell though.
Hey, if there's any what do you call it, physiologists out there, doctors out there who could actually enlighten us, please add me, message us on rti.org.tw. That'd be really interesting to learn, I think.
People who are chronically tardy or late to something.
Yes. And Ivy is staring directly at me when it comes
No, I think you guys are both okay and on time for the most part. But like some people, probably most people have like a friend or know somebody who's just always late to something.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about if you have extenuating circumstances
of
or
course.
whatever. Something happened, your car broke down, blah blah. Okay, that stuff is all
But
fine.
people who are
chronically late, to, for instance, every social event, for instance, when clearly they were probably getting to work on time. So it's not like they don't know how to read a clock, all right? Or like they know what time they need to get to the airport to catch a plane. They can tell time, all right?
Yeah.
But then like, when you're having like gatherings or lunches or, they're supposed to meet you for a movie, they're chronically, I'm not talking about like 3 minutes late. Okay, that doesn't count.
we're talking about 20 minutes
20
late,
minutes late, 30 minutes late. You're already there and they're like, oh, I'm just leaving home now. And you're like, why?
I do have a couple of friends whom I have to tell them we are meeting at 12 if it's 12:30.
Yeah, so that really, really bugs me.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand it as an adult. If you understand the mode of transport you're taking to get you from A to B, you should be able
To get there.
to manage your time and know when you have to leave to get to a certain place.
Somebody once told me that people who are chronically late is partly because they are optimists.
What?
What? They think they can fly somewhere?
Optimists, meaning they think that there's not going to be traffic and they're going to be able to get their car or bus or train immediately on time. And
Oh, that might be me.
they're basically making these assumptions that everything is going to go smoothly. Hence optimism, right? But that is rarely what actually happens in real life. You get into the train station, train is just leaving, right? Or you're stuck in traffic. But that's just Taipei traffic. It's every day. I heard that and I'm like, kind of, yeah. It's because they assume everything's going to go well, so they don't leave any extra time for problems. They also assume their friend is not going to be mad about it. Candy.
I don't know if I have.
Any more pet peeves?
Like people who they shake the tables, like their chairs. You know, they're like always tapping on their feet.
Oh, the foot shaking thing.
Yeah, those things.
I don't know anyone who constantly does that. I know I do it occasionally if I'm under some kind of stress. Some people do that. Like they develop a tic or
I've seen
something like lip picking. I do that also.
Like it shakes the whole table.
Right? It's an anxiety thing, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, that's kind of what
I
it is.
think it's just more annoying. It's just like when things are just shaking constantly.
I don't like outie belly buttons.
Is that a pet peeve?
I don't know. I'm just thinking
it's
like
just a
I don't
preference.
Like, okay, yeah, I don't. They gross me out. I just don't.
Do you
like
know
them.
anyone who actually likes I love them?
No, or like some people don't mind. I don't know about you guys. Like the whole outie belly button is only something I see outside of Asian culture.
You know,
Asians don't have out. We all have innies.
I've only seen it on my dog actually. My dog had an outie.
That is not even the same species, but okay. But like, it's not something I even knew we could have until like you see like I don't know, Caucasian kid or something. We don't have it. I don't know any Asian.
I wonder
one.
why. Interesting.
It might be how they do the umbilical cord tie off thing, like a medical thing, but we don't have outies.
Okay, so my dog Rue is a Basenji, and their breed specifically is known to have outies. They all have them.
Oh yeah, but I was talking about in humans. I
know,
don't mind
but-
them on dogs.
Yes, I understand. But many other dog breeds or, genetic makeups don't actually have outies. So it could be the same with people within the same species.
certain breed.
There are certain breeds of people that have them and certain breeds that don't.
And you happen to encounter them or one. I don't know. How many have you seen?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you see them sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean,
you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've never noticed on somebody Asian.
Ready?
That's all I'm.
So my turn, right? So people who are slovenly dressed. Is that a word? Slovenly dressed.
Sure.
Dressed in a slovenly fashion for...
In general?
in general.
Like, what if they're at home?
At home, if nobody's looking at you, then nobody cares, all right?
Okay.
Because, anybody, you can wear whatever you want in the privacy of your own home. But if you go to work, go to school, and of course, certain events such as funerals or weddings, I think that being dressed appropriately is a sign of respect to yourself and others. I mean, and then people kind of whine about the fact, like, for example, in a professional setting, why they aren't being paid attention to or promoted or given, raises or projects or whatever when you're not presenting yourself to management in a way that is professional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, it's one of my things. People who go to weddings in like shorts and sandals.
Yeah, unless you have some sort of destination beach wedding where you're all on the beach, and you're all like, then that's fine.
Right.
But if it's not, then even like I've seen people wearing jeans. That's not okay. You cannot wear jeans and have a shirt tucked in at a wedding. You can dress like this, whatever, on a night out with your friends. That's fine. Doesn't matter.
Right.
But not at a wedding. Jeans is not pants.
And is that really a cultural? People have told me it's just cultural differences, and weddings are just not that formal in places like Taiwan. And
I agree. Yeah, because I see that in Taiwan, but in Japan or the States, you would never see people people always dress up, formally, properly.
It's an event. So.
And in Taiwan, people literally come like they're just I'm
in
gonna
a
go
t-shirt.
Yeah. T-shirts and jeans and like sandals.
Yes, huge pet peeve.
But I also think maybe here in Taiwan, like people tend to dress more casually. And their idea of what is dressing formally, their standard is very low.
Yeah.
I think so. It's a lot lower. I think even in like the working environment, I see it. Even if you can dress business casual, but like lately, the last year or two, like the trend is to wear like crop tops, right? You don't wear that to work though.
You can't wear crop top to work?
Yeah, but so many women near my office
are wearing crop tops to work.
Right, and it's like, no, that's not okay to work. But nobody cares here, I guess, and they still go to work and they haven't been fired, so I guess it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that you aren't free to wear whatever you want. You absolutely are free to wear whatever you want. I mean, it is 2023. That's totally cool. But you should be aware, depending on what you're wearing, depending on what event, you are being judged.
I think that's the thing. Maybe people here are just not judgy because they don't seem to care that people
they don't
are
seem
like
to care. Like nobody is upset that somebody shows up at their wedding in jeans.
Yeah. Even like the actual bride and groom, like they don't.
Yeah, they're not upset.
They don't.
Everybody's standards are lower
They're
here.
accepted.
It's my pet peeve.
And then we're like, oh, what are they wearing?
Yeah.
All right, your turn, Ivy.
I don't like minky feet.
Gross feet. So no oral hygiene problems and no foot hygiene.
I don't even know if it's necessarily but like this goes for both like men and women.
Oh yeah.
Men tend to not take care of their feet, you know, even more so than women because they're dudes, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just heavily calloused or your nails are gross.
Why are you exposing them to the public?
Right. But you know, you live here and people wear sandals a lot, right? And you
Yeah.
can still see that and that is not okay. I had a housemate once in London. She was like Lebanese. Her feet were so gross.
Oh no.
What did she not do to it?
Like not wash them and they smelled, or
No, it's not that they smelled. That just the condition that just looked awful. I don't
She
know.
just didn't take care of it.
Yeah, she just did not take care of her feet.
I mean,
and I just
self-care is a thing. If a person puts more effort into self-care, it's not about vanity. It's about feeling better about yourself. Period. So pedicures are a nice treat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everybody has to go get a pedicure,
Yeah,
right?
but it is nice.
Sure, but I mean, I don't get it, but you know, my feet are okay. I think.
Yeah, I give myself pedicures.
Yeah, that's
So,
fine. Yeah, I don't know. Is that a pet peeve? Like caring about self grooming?
That is a pet peeve, totally.
Yeah.
Pet peeve. I think the term pet peeve is something that you yourself are bothered by, but generally might not bother others.
Yeah, I think somebody who's not clean, hygienic, or like well groomed.
But I feel like that's normal. I don't think there's anyone that's like, ooh, I love dirty
Dirty feet.
dirty feet, people who
Look,
doesn't take shower.
No judgment. There might be that fetish out
true.
there. Hey, if that's what you're into, that's cool.
true. That's true.
You know, we do know that there is definitely a market for foot fetishes.
Oh no, yeah, we know
that's
that.
very
There's
public.
market for other stuff too.
So within foot fetishes, I'm sure that there's people who enjoy ones that are not pedicured. Who knows? It's out there. You know, no
Everything's out
judgment.
there.
Everything is out there. What is that? There was a rule number 33 or whatever. Was it 33? Was it 31? It is a number.
Why is there a number?
It's if it exists, there is porn of it. That's the rule.
100%.
Yes.
There's an app actually that you can write out all your fetishes.
Really?
Yes.
Wait.
It's a dating app.
It's a dating app.
It's a dating app that I found by accident
Okay.
one day. I don't know how I found it. And I thought it was a regular dating app. And turns out it gives you an option to write out everything that you're into
Okay.
behind closed door.
Okay.
So people can see what you're into, and then you can also seek the same.
Right. People who would also be into
And
it.
I think I showed it to you. We were looking at the
Yeah, I
words
remember.
because we didn't know what a lot of them were like. What's this?
Interesting.
And it actually gives you definitions of like what they are.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
I mean, it's good to be upfront about this stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, because like if you're into some things that might be kind of unconventional, and then bring it up later in a relationship.
Apparently, there's no girls on it because my friend,
What?
my guy friend, downloaded it just to check it out, and he's like, literally, there's only 3 girls on it.
So they're all just dudes with fetishes.
It's all guys.
Ah,
It's very interesting. So it's just literally just like bunch of guys looking for his partner, but there's only 3 girls on it. Yeah.
yeah, I'd be glad to look at this for research purposes. So, pet peeves. I think everybody has something. Everybody has something that they really can't stand when they see it in other people, generally speaking. Tell us yours. Message us. At us. We're on all the social media, basically. Thanks for geeking out with me, guys, again.
Oh, yeah, right. So you're welcome.
And thanks, listeners, for tuning into Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang, and I'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Geek Out.